Well, I think we're all here. I'm glad we're all here to discuss a very important uh, piece of legislation that we feel is very important, SB 94, which is a loan modification counseling bill that I have decided to author this year because of the growing problem, as noted by the Consumers Union and various law enforcement agencies in this state, the growing problem of loan modification counselors charging fees up front to people who are in dire need of either a loan mod or in the process or on their way to foreclosure and looking for reaching out for some kind of lifesaver and asking these loan modification organizations to help them. The problem is that they charge up front and then they don't guarantee, or in many cases they don't solve the problem. And these borrowers now are not only in a tough situation with their mortgage, but now they have an additional bill, additional debt, and drain on their finances. So the loan modification counseling bill is designed to protect them, which basically says that no one can charge upfront on any kind of loan modification counseling services. And if they do want to charge for the service, that they have to notify the borrower in advance that there are organizations like nonprofit credit counseling services that can deal with this issue and assist them without having to pay anything for it. So this basically eliminates the charge up front, eliminates anybody being able to charge on the back end before they notify the borrower that they can get it done basically for free. And it also prevents loan servicers and lenders from charging anything to any of their customers for doing any loan modification programs. So with that, I do want to introduce a coalition that's here with us today in support of this bill. I'm very proud to say that the leader of our Senate, Senate Pro Tem Darrell Steinberg, is here with us today. I'd like him to say a few words. And with that, I'll hand it over to you, sir.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you very much, Senator Calderon, Senator Corbett, and Senator Correa, for your outstanding leadership on this very important consumer protection issue. The bottom line is this: economic times are difficult enough for homeowners who find themselves behind on their payments, without them having to worry about being scammed when they want to modify their mortgage loans. The home is, the best chance that people have to hang on to what it is they have. And this common sense measure says that there needs to be some scrutiny, there needs to be some regulation to protect consumers against those who may promise to make their lives better, but in fact cannot really deliver. This is a piece, of course, of a much larger puzzle as we attempt to do our part here in California to help our economy recover. We know that there are going to be better days ahead. We know the housing market is going to come back. We know that the 11% plus unemployment rate we have in this state is going to go down. And we're doing everything we can on all fronts to help make that happen. In the meantime, let's make sure that difficult times are not made worse for so many people just looking to stay afloat. Thank you. It is my pleasure now to introduce joint author of the bill, Senator Ellen Corbett, the chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee. Senator Corbett.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, fellow senators, Senator Calderon, Senator Correa, and all of the wonderful advocates that are here today as well. Let me just thank Senator Calderon for his strong advocacy in this area. Senator Calderon, as chair of the Banking Committee, and myself as chair of the Judiciary Committee, recently held hearings about this important issue because we're very concerned about the scamming that's going on throughout the state. As has been mentioned, these are difficult times. people's American dream of home ownership is turning into a nightmare based on the various economic situations they find themselves in. And Senator Calderon's bill is absolutely essential to stop this terrible practice of charging large fees in advance, $1,000 to $5,000 we have found. And Senator Calderon and myself in our committee heard many horror stories from consumers, from the Attorney General's office, the District Attorney's office in Los Angeles, and the Alameda County District Attorney's office. We heard scores of horror stories of individuals who would ask for this money up front and not do a thing, even leave town. So a person was left with a huge hole in their bank account because of this advance fee that had been charged, and also maybe had waited too long to even renegotiate their mortgage and lost their home. So this practice must stop, and Senator Calderon, I very much appreciate you taking on this charge on behalf of consumers throughout the state. And the bill is up in the Judiciary Committee this afternoon, and we're very happy to hear both sides of the issue, but I think that this bill will get strong support this afternoon. Thank you, Senator Calderon. And I would like to introduce my good colleague and friend, Senator Correa from Orange County.
Thank you very much, and Senator Calderon, I also stand with you, congratulating you on this most important matter. You know, today I had some prepared comments, but I got to tell you, there's nothing that could have prepared me, so to speak, for what I found when I had some town halls, some workout foreclosure seminars in my district. The horrors out there are unbelievable, and if you think of Americans, just honest-to-goodness folks working hard to do what? To reach the American dream. That's all what people are looking for. And of course, when they're faced with a situation of losing their part of America, then these individuals with just no heart come by and promise to stop the calls, promise to stop the bills. One typical horrible situation, a couple. If you give us $3,000, we're going to stop those calls. A month later, send us a few more $1,000. Then on the day of the foreclosure sale, she gets a phone call, $400 more this morning, ma'am, and we can stop. We're going to file bankruptcy by 2 p.m. Nothing happened other than the sale went through. And that's a kind of situations that we have in our communities today. People getting hurt. You know, it's one thing if you can't make the payment, you're trying to work something out, but for somebody to come and to prey on our constituents, giving them the false hope. And many times these consultants do absolutely nothing but take these individuals' hard-earned money. That has to be made a crime. Senator Calderon, I stand with you. Thank you very much. And now I'd like to introduce Norma Garcia with the Consumers Union.
Thank you, Senator Calderon, Senator Steinberg, Senator Corbett, Senator Correa, for your great leadership on this very important issue. In February 2009, there were over 80,000 properties listed in foreclosure in California. That's 1 out of every 164 housing units in this state. Every single one of those individuals, as well as those who are on their way to foreclosure, are potential victims for loan modification scam artists. These scam artists are having a heyday in California because California has the highest number of foreclosures, properties in foreclosure in the entire country. In March, President Obama's administration put into effect 2 new programs to help homeowners avoid unnecessary foreclosures. The purpose behind these programs was to aid in the economic recovery of this nation, which has been established as an important national priority. Now, these modification scam artists come in and divert consumers' attention from the legitimate sources of help and divert the consumer's money into their own pockets. This has got to stop. This is a serious problem. It needs to be addressed immediately. SB 94 is a very sensible solution to deal with the most egregious practices that are happening in California right now. And we thank you, Senator Calderon, for your leadership. And now I'd like to introduce Caitlin Vega from the California Labor Federation.
The California Labor Federation represents 2 million working families here in California, and our members are really at the epicenter of this crisis. Every day we hear from our members who are at risk of losing their homes and are seeing everything that they have worked so hard for and sacrificed for at risk of disappearing right before their eyes. So our members are tremendously vulnerable to these scam artists who come in and promise to make their problems go away and to get them out of these loans that they do not understand and that they didn't understand when they entered into. They're seeing monthly payments double and triple. They're having their kids have to drop out of school and take jobs to try to stay in their homes. So when someone comes in and promises to fix it, they want to believe that that's possible. And these foreclosure consultants are taking advantage of them at their most vulnerable time in their lives. So we think that this is essential legislation to protect the working families of California, and we do appreciate Senator Calderon's leadership on this issue. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Laura Flynn with the Center for Responsible Lending. We're a nonprofit, nonpartisan research and policy organization dedicated to preventing predatory lending practices. And you've heard far more compelling things than I could possibly say. I will just reiterate our thanks to the senator and the leadership for moving this bill forward. It's extremely important. I'll just reiterate that in the course of our research, we work with many nonprofit housing counseling agencies as we study predatory lending practices, and this is a huge problem. It's real, and the senator's bill will go a long, long way to fixing it. Thank you.
As Senator Corbett indicated a few moments ago, this bill will be up in the Senate Judiciary Committee, where, of course, both sides will be fairly heard. I just want to indicate from the leadership perspective, this measure is a strong priority as one of, a number of steps that we will take this year in order to reduce California's foreclosure rate. Right? Thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate it.